May I pay respect to the senior monks, my friends in the Dhamma. Good afternoon here in Thailand. Maybe good night or good morning in other countries, especially in USA or in some European countries. Today, from the morning session up to now in the afternoon session, we have a special occasion to come together and participate in the ceremonies of 118 birth anniversaries of สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์อาสทะมหาเถระ a former abbot of วัดมหาธาตุ and acting supreme patriarch, and also he himself was the second president of MCU, and also in many statuses. The most venerable สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ as we all have known very well already, played very key role in Thai Sangha community, as you have seen on the screen in many positions. But the main things he has focused all the time in doing the job in those days. There are three main missions already. The first one, study the scripture and provide the occasion for all the people to study the Buddhist scriptures. The second main mission is to practice meditation and also provide and encourage all the Buddhists to practice meditation. And the third main mission is to propagate the Buddha's teaching. Even though in Sankhya community there are many missions, but the most venerable, apart from doing the jobs in regarding other missions, he focused only three main missions only. Why did he focus on only three main missions? Because he knows very well the Buddha's resolution appearing in Tipitaka scripture in Mahaparinibbana Sutta. In that sutta, there are long, it is a long passage inside that. But in brief, the Lord Buddha said that I would die in time when there had been confidence that four assemblies were expertise in my doctrines. Scholars complete in good conduct, qualified enough to propagate my teaching clearly. So much so that Buddhism had been established firmly. So, during the lifetime of the most venerable, we focus only study, practice, and propagate. These three main visions will be conducive to be strong Buddhism. If we think of the strong Buddhism or the strength of Buddhism, apart from doing other vision, don't forget to focus these three main visions. As a Buddhist monks, we can do every job, but don't forget to do the three main jobs. Study by yourself and cultivate yourselves in meditation in some level. And don't forget to propagate the Buddha's teachings in whatever form of propagation. No need to propagate in words. You can propagate in your action, in your doing daily routine, in your temple. That means propagation also. This is the doctrine of doing the job of the most venerable. He knows and convinced and think of it all the time, the Buddha resolution like this. The second one, the doctrine of doing the job of the most venerable. He remember and recognize and know all the time the Buddha verse said in the time of sending the group of 60 monks to propagate the Buddha's teaching to the people. 4 years forth, 4 months. 4 years forth, 4 months. For the benefits of the many, for the happiness of the many, for the health of the world, for usefulness, benefits, and happiness of God and human being, etc. So in those days, we have heard about the coming to the local area of the most venerable all the time. This day, that day, the most venerable travel to the rural area with the group of monks and lay people to stay overnight, sometime in some place, just to encourage, just to teach and encourage the people to study and practice meditation in every corner of Thailand. This is the second doctrine of doing the job of the most venerable. So, in the lifetimes of the most venerable, vision and mission of the most venerable, the first one, academic affairs. Apart from studying the scripture by himself, to keep on the Buddha's resolution, as I have said, to create the body of knowledge in supreme doctrine. He encouraged the people to study and also have brought the education in this
master into MCU. He himself established Abhidhammachotika Vidyalai. And nowadays Abhidhammachotika Vidyalai belongs to MCU. And what Abhidhammachotika Vidyalai study? What are the people in Abhidhammachotika Vidyalai study? They study the essence Dhamma, the ultimate Dhamma or Paramattha Dhamma. They study the concept of mind, mental factors, matter, and Nibbana. The four main doctrines, the four main teachings of the Buddha. What is the purpose of most venerables who have brought the Abhidhamma study into MCU? I think he had the vision as he picked up as the doctrine of doing the job all the time. Study, practice, provocation. So he had known before that if we want MCU to be strong and standing at the main pillars of educational institution regarding Buddhist study here in Thailand, apart from providing occasion to study the academic affairs, the student must have occasion to practice meditation. To practice meditation effectively, we have to get the body of knowledge regarding ultimate doctrine of Buddhism first. It means that we have to know very well and understand very well the concept of mind, mental factors, matter, and nirvana. To be the foundations of consideration when we come to practice meditation. So, we provide the occasion for the student to study the scripture first, academic affair. This is the first mission of the Venerable. The second mission, we say a mission of meditation. In the lifetime of the most venerables, as I have said, he, along with accompanied by the group of monks, the lay people travel to the rural area all the time and stay overnight in those places for 3 days, 5 days, maybe 7 days. I have direct experience regarding this master. When I stay in Kanchanaburi province, when I was a novice and stay there, one time the most venerable with the big group of monks and the lay people, around 1,000 people come together and stay in Wat Chai Chumpon Chana Songkram for 5 days. Stay there. During 5 days, he teach the people all the time, encourage the people to practice meditation all the time. Very colorful atmosphere to give inspiration to the Buddhists here to practice meditation. So, apart from practicing meditation by himself, he encouraged monks, novices to practice all the time, especially here, MCU students. We have provided the subject regarding meditation. It goes there. We call Dhamma practice 1, Dhamma practice 2, Dhamma practice 3, up to Dhamma practice 7. The subject matter. Nowadays we have meditation 1, meditation 2, meditation 3. The subject matter we provide for the student to study here. Apart from study in the classroom, we provide the opportunity for the student to participate in the spiritual retreat in the rural area for 10 days yearly because of vision and mission of the most vulnerable. This is the second main vision of the vulnerable. Meditation practice. The third one, provocation. He himself leader in provocation of Buddha's teaching all the time. In every form of provocation, he likes to read the books in maybe mostly in 24 hours a day. Here, he starts reading from early morning at 5 a.m. up to 7:30 a.m. This is the second and the first session. At the second session, he starts reading at 1 p.m. up to 7 p.m. and then take a relaxing. And after doing personal activity, he starts writing. Writing of what he read, writing of what he thinks. At 11 p.m. every day. I myself have the direct experience of the evidence of writing of the most vulnerable. One day, when I was dean of graduate school, I was the head of the chairperson of the committee who are in charge of collecting the document to write down the short autobiography of the most vulnerable. I have to approach to every person who had the document regarding the most vulnerable. So one day I go to some section in Wat Mahathat to meet with the senior monk, and that senior monk show the documents of handwriting of the most vulnerable, the big bundle of the handwriting paper. The handwriting of the most vulnerable, very wonderful. I will explain it. So I like to brought those handwriting paper, but really big bundle. I cannot take a brief of that. So I neglect that one. A few days ago, I informed the most vulnerable Prathamma Muni with to collect those of the handwriting paper which I had seen before. I am not sure he can correct or not. But this is the evidence of provocation of the most vulnerable in form of writing the books. Apart from this, he likes to travel to some province all the time. The purpose of traveling to that province is to teach the people, to encourage the people to practice meditation, and to do the job as a Buddhist monk. I don't know what part of the time he take a rest. because we have heard that all the time that the most venerable travel to that province, to this province, to do this job in that province, to do those jobs in this province all the time. This is the vision of the most venerable propagation. Pay intensive attention to propagation all the time. Apart from provide the educational place, educational institution for the local Thai youth. He like to say that when their father finish class 4 of elementary school, their children should finish class 8 of secondary school. Their grandchildren must graduate at least BA degree. His purpose is to make the man to be a monk, to make monk to be a man. What does this mean? I assign the homework to you. Make man to be a monk, make monk to be a man. This is the reflections of the most venerable regarding providing the opportunity for the Thai youth, especially rural area Thai youth, to have occasion to develop themselves by education. He think of this master all the time. He provide education for the Thai youth, both girls and boys, covering both girl and boy. And the most important thing, he himself established the graduate school here in MCU to provide education for the monks here. So the most venerable play a key role and give so much contribution to MCU. We have known very well through the secret powers of the most venerable. His late disciples, medical doctor Rasami and Madame Sompong Wanison, donate the plot of land in Wang Noi, Ayutthaya. The area is 84 right to MCU to construct the headquarters here. So from here, the head MCU headquarters in Wang Noi happened by the secret powers of the most venerable. And from here also, we can extend the scope of our campus and colleges over the country and also maybe in some foreign country because of the power of the most venerable. The most venerable in those days, apart from being one staff of 57 senior monks who come together and run the educational program in MCU in the beginning. He himself is one of the senior monks who raised funds to construct MCU building in Wat Mahata, Bangkok, also a platform in Wang Noi. So the most venerable play a key role in doing many jobs which are contribution to MCU and to Thai Sangha in Thailand. Also regarding the meditation in Thailand, he established more than 400 schools of meditation practice here in Thailand. 72 years from being ordinated as a novice. 67 6 years from being ordinated as a monk, the most venerable had never been free from vision, missions, as I mentioned above. He do the job all the time. So today we come together to co-organize 118 their anniversary, 118 year birth anniversaries of the most venerable. Thank you very much for coming together and organize the renewable activity together. Thank you.
So, on behalf of the organizing committee and all distinguished participants, honorable panelists, may I respectfully thanks the most venerable Professor Dr. พระธรรมวัชรบัณฑิต Rector of มหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย University for your kind speech. Your presentation is wonderful. Encourage young generation, especially MCU staff, students, monks, and novices who study at MCU to impress His Holiness สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์อาสภมหาเถระ former abbot of วัดมหาธาตุยุวราชรังสฤษฎ์ and acting supreme patriarch and the former president of MCU Council. So next we are going to have a golden opportunity to get knowledge and experience shared by the distinguished panelists. Now may I invite distinguished moderator, Assistant Professor Dr. เมธาพันธ์ โพธิธีรโรจน์ practice as moderator. About his qualification, Assistant Professor Dr. เมธาพันธ์ โพธิธีรโรจน์ he is Assistant Professor in Linguistics at Faculty of Humanities, and also he is Assistant Rector for Public Relations มหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย University. Assistant Professor Dr. เมธาพันธ์ โพธิธีรโรจน์ completed Bachelor of Art in English from MCU Thailand, Master of Public Administration from Nagpura University, Maharashtra, India, and also Master of Arts in Linguistics, first class honor with gold medalist. I think he is the first Thai student achieve first class honor with gold medalist at Nagpura University, Maharashtra, India, and he achieved Master of Philosophy in Public Administration in the same university, Nagpura University, and Doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration at Nagpura University. Assistant Professor Dr. เมธาพันธ์ โพธิธีรโรจน์ is Thai's teacher and helped our students who study at MCU. Now I would like to invite Assistant Professor Dr. เมธาพันธ์ โพธิธีรโรจน์ practice as moderator of this time. Please. Could you please switch on microphone?
Thank you very much, Venerable Master of Ceremony. Most respected Rector Professor Dr. พระธรรมวัชรบัณฑิต Rector of มหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย University, and administrators, lecturers, students at distinguished guest participants, and I'm so honored to be the moderator of this academic seminar on the revival of Vipassana meditation in Thailand by His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan. I would like to thank the organizing committee to give me this great opportunity to moderate the panel discussion about this one. So today we have three panelists to come to exchange the idea about the revival of Vipassana meditation in Thailand by His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan Asapa Mahathera. Today we can say it is the historical day of our MCU and also alumni of Mahachulalongkorn Rajavitiyalai University in Thailand and also around the world to have organized this, the remembrance of His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan. So as we know that there are two important burdens in Buddhism. That is the burdens of studying scriptures and the burdens of meditation practice. Based on these two, the realizable aspects of the true doctrine can be occurred, especially the latter, the insight meditation. So as we know that the teaching and practicing Vipassana meditation in Thailand was stopped in the reign of King Lama V. So the revival of Vipassana meditation or affairs in Thailand have been started again in 1955 by His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan Asapa Mahathera when he was Rapimolatham. So by sending some Buddhist monks like Ramahachadokhyana Siddhi to study Vipassana meditation in the Union of Burma, and one monk, Pamaha Bamnan, to study Mapamahamnan, and Samanen Sowai to study the scriptures in the Union of Burma. So, apart of this, he went to visit the Union of Burma, Sri Lanka, to find out the schools of studying Vipassana meditation. So when he went there, he found that the school of Mahasisiyano, Venerable Mahasisiyano, is the best one of the best school of Vipassana meditation in Burma. So after that, he started sending Buddhist monks to study there, as already know. And also, he just asked the Union Councils of Buddhist Burma to send some Vipassana masters to come to teach Vipassana based on foundations of mindfulness in Thailand, as we know about this. So that's why today, to recommend the contribution of His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan and Asapa Mahathera on this point, we can say that is the turning point of the great development of Vipassana meditation in Thailand. Based on this, so many schools, I think more than 400 schools, happened in around Thailand and also around the world. Today we have three panelists who come to exchange and to talk about the contribution about the revival of Vipassana meditation of Somdet Paputtajan and Asapa Mahathera. I would like to introduce these three panelists to the participant. The first panelist, has given kindness to come to discuss about this is Venerable Associate Professor Dr. Pramahasambun Butikaro. He is now a faculty member of graduate school from MCU, a director of PhD program in Buddhist studies, dean of graduate school, MCU. He earned the 7 degrees of the Thai traditional Buddhist studies. He also earned BA in English from the Faculty of Humanities of Mahachulang University, MA in Buddhist Studies from Faculty of Liberal Arts, Thammasat University. He earned PhD in Buddhist Studies from the Graduate School, Mahachulang University. His publications include the concepts of mind only in Yogacara Buddhism, Buddhist monks and just for religious pluralism in Buddhist perspective, socialist engaged Buddhism in Thailand, how many Mangalas in Mangala Sutta, criticisms of Metanando Bhikkhu's paper, Yogacaras Jittama Matra, and analytical studies based on early Buddhism and hermeneutics, socially engaged Buddhism, how to write a documentative paper. And also he has experience as a lecturer of subjects like Mahayana Buddhism, socially engaged Buddhism and hermeneutics, Buddhist philosophy at graduate school, Mahachulang University. And so he a visiting fellow at Sri Lanka International Buddhist Academy, visiting for at Bangkok Buddhist Chonbuk College, South Korea, visiting fellow at Traumaget Buddhist College, Budapest, Hungary. This is the first panelist. I just would like all participants to welcome Venerable Associate Professor Dr. Pramahasambun Butikaro. Good afternoon. And the second one is Venerable Pravithet Ratanaporn, Dr. Pravithet Ratanaporn, or everyone know him as Dr. Handy in Tisan. It is correct? Whenever say in Tisan? Okay.
Yes.
He is serving as the Wat Thai Washington DC, Thai Buddhist temple in Silver Spring, Maryland, in the United States. He was Samanera when he was 14 years old, and after that, in between 1978 to 1996, Venerable Dr. Handy, we can call him Dr. Handy, practiced vipassana meditation under several forest tradition masters. He achieved Pali languages study, grade 5. He earned BA from Mahachulalongkorn University, MA from Century University in USA, and so he earned PhD in Buddhist Studies at Magaz University, India in 2003. His PhD dissertation was the problems of self in Buddhism. It is very important and very interesting. So the problems of self in Buddhism. And after that, he just went to work as Dhammacitta Bhikkhu and study monastic duties, I think over 30 countries like Canada, in North America, in Europe, such as England, France, Germany, Belgium, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Netherlands, Switzerland, Scandinavia, Russia, and all countries in Southeast Asia, and some in South Africa and Australia and New Zealand. And nowadays, from 1992, Dr. Handy served primarily as a Buddhist missionary monk or overseas Dhammajuta at Wat Thai, Washington, D.C., that served the local Thai and American communities. And also, he is the editor of the Thai Sangha magazine of the Councils of Thai Bhikkhus in the USA. This is the brief about historical backgrounds of Dr. Handy. Venerable Dr. Prat Vitet Ruttanaporn, the second panelist. Good afternoon, Venerable Sir. And the last one of the panelists, who is the alumnus of Mahajulalakala Vidyalaya University. He became a novice at 13 after finishing elementary school, and he received higher ordination as a monk at Wat Mahathat, Bangkok. And he obtained his first degree in English, in BA from Mahajulalakala Vidyalaya University. And also he earned the highest level of Pali studies in Thailand that we call Pali grade 9. And he earned MA in ethical studies in Mahidol University, which he completed in 2004. And after that, in 2000, he was engaged by the International Buddhist Meditation Center, Bangkok, to work as a speaker and meditation instructor. And he ran meditation retreats for both Thais and foreigners when he was in Thailand at Section 5 of Wat Mahathat. He was also one of the regular preachers at Wat Mahathat to Bangkok. And now he is residing at Wat Puttaparthi, London, England. I just would like to join me to welcome Venerable Pamahapasakorn Piyo Paso. Good afternoon, Venerable Sir. So, Venerable Sirs, so as I already give you introduction about the revival of Vipassana meditation by the His Holiness Samdet Pa Putthajan Asapa Mahadera in Thailand. And we know that he contributed too much to revive the Vipassana meditation by sending monks to study in the Union of Burma, and he went to many countries to see and to learn, to find out the best schools of Vipassana meditation, and also he established Vipassana centers at Wat Mahathat. And after or later, this Vipassana Chula Institute has been under the responsibility of Mahajulalakala Vidyalaya University now. And today, 118 years of Samdet Pa Putthajan Asapa. I would like you to share about this one. So, first of all, I would like to make agreement with all of you first. Now we have around 1 hour to discuss about this. I think we will have only one round, okay? I will give you 15 minutes each, and we will give around 15 minutes left for Q&A. If some participant would like to ask some questions about this one. Okay, I would like to start from Venerable Associate Professor Dr. Pramahasampun Vutikaro, Dean of Faculty of Graduate School, as also he is interested in Vipassana meditation too much nowadays. And sometimes I have seen that he is teaching Vipassana meditation through YouTube and also through Facebook. How do you feel about this one? And how do you think about the revival of Vipassana meditation by สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์อาจอาสภะ in Thailand? Yeah, please, 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Ajahn Dr. Methapan. Thank you so much for introducing me. May I pay respect to the Most Venerable Patham Pracharavan, Director of Mahajulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya, on Venerable and on participant. Today, as we already know, we organized the 118th birth anniversary of His Holiness Somdet Praputhajaan Art Asapa Mahathera. I think when we talk about the great venerable in the past, like Venerable Somdet Praputhajaan, the most venerable Somdet Praputhajaan, one thing we should know first is we should ask a question: why and how he do what he do? Why he think what he think? Why he said what he said? I think we should know what we call the historical background, as said by Ajahn Methapan. To know someone in the past, we should know their context. So Venerable Somdet Praputhajaan has some context in his time. That is, I would say that the context, the social context, right? The cultural, social context, and international context of his time. He lived in the period of what we call transitional period. That is the time after the World War II, right? After the World War II, Thailand and Burma were in same situation. Thailand at that time was during the time after the political change, right? After 75 political change, and also Myanmar. Myanmar is post-colonialism, right? Myanmar was in the time of declaration of independence from British colonialism. So Thailand, as Myanmar, as said, I would like to share with you the saying by Venerable Yanika of Wat Ampawanara, and recorded by Ajahn Sathien Pantalangsi. Right. Ajahn Sathien Pantalangsi recorded that Sri Lanka and Burma are intersected by the ocean, but we have religious relations smoothly and continually. While Thailand and Burma are interconnected by land, but we have no relation each other for a long time. So the coming of Venerable Minister of Sangha Administration, I mean Somdet Praputhajaan, the coming of Minister of Sangha Administration of Thailand and his student is to revive and reconnect Thailand and Burma relation. I think this saying shows the background of the relationship between Thailand and so when we say about Somdet, he is the symbol. He is the symbol of religious reform, the symbol of religious relationship between Thailand and Myanmar, and really the symbol of Vipassana revival at that time. As we know, Thailand itself, in Thailand we have traditional meditation practice called the โบราณกรรมฐาน or ancient meditation practice continued by the forest monk in Thailand. The tradition of forest monk. This is we can say this is the Thailand meditation style. Thailand meditation style. Thai Sangha meditation style. โบราณกรรมฐาน continued by this kind of meditation style based on anapanasati, right? Or we sometimes call the Buddho style. Buddho style meditation, vipassana meditation. This is a Thai style. We can say a Myanmar style meditation practice based on Satipatthana Sutta. As we call in Mahajulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya, rising, falling meditation style, right? ยุบหนอพองหนอ meditation style. But โบราณกรรมฐาน of Thai Sangha Anapanasati or Buddho style. But in Thailand, the tradition, Buddhist tradition of Thailand, the practice of vipassana or kammathana meditation is for monk, right? It's the duty, the burden, the duty of monk, not for lay people. This is Thai, and this is Thai tradition. When we talk about meditation practice in Thailand, in the old time, in the past time, we believe that meditation practice is for monk, especially forest monk, and not for village monk like Kamawasi, for Aranyawasi. Not to say about the lay people, right? The duty of lay people in Buddhism is to support monk, to observe the 5 precepts and the 8 precepts. This is the duty of lay people, according to the Thai Buddhism, right? Thai Buddhism, the Buddhist tradition in Thailand. But when the venerable His Holiness Somdet Phra Puthajjan introduced the new style of meditation practice from Burma to Thailand. I think everything changed. It's give light to the new phenomena of meditation practice in Thailand. He made the meditation practice popular in ordinary people, right? Not only for monks, but ordinary people or lay people. Lay people can practice meditation, especially the middle class people. The middle class people can practice meditation. And also, lay people can teach meditation, can practice, and can be the leader of, can be the meditation master. For example, อาจารย์คุณแม่สลิดกลิ่นชัย right? คุณแม่สลิดกลิ่นชัย For example, the ยุวพุทธิกษสมาคม I think this is a new phenomena in Thailand. And also, the สมเด็จพระพุทธญาณ and he have made many new phenomena in Thailand. And I said that is the meditation practice, right? New style meditation practice influenced by Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, right? At that time in Burma, during the time after the colonialism, right? After the colonialism, the vipassana meditation practice of Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw very influential at that time, So Burmese people both ordinary people and government have tried to revive Buddhism, try to revive Burmese culture after the colonialism, right? So this is why Myanmar organized the Chatta Sankirti, right? The Sikh Buddhist Council, according to Myanmar tradition. According to Myanmar tradition, the Sikh Buddhist Council. This is what we call the Kanta Tula, the burden of studying scripture. And also Myanmar support the Vipassana Tula, that is Vipassana meditation. At that time, Mahasi Sayadaw style very influential. So when the Somdet Paputtaja went to Burma, this is what I would say. This is what religious exchange. He revived Buddhism in Thailand by different way. For example, by way of reviving Vipassana meditation practice, by way of studying Buddhist scripture, and by way of introducing new kind of Buddhist study to Thailand. For example, the Abhidhamma study. Now we have many Abhidhamma study center around across the country. For example, Wat Lakhang Kositaram, Wat Mahathat, Abhidhamma Shodika, Vitayaraya of Wat Mahathat, right? And Wat Sampaya. It is the masterpiece, what I would say, the contribution of Somdet Paputtaja. This is one kind of religious exchange between Thailand and Myanmar. Right. And I know before that time, before the Somdet Paputtaja time, Abhidhamma study, Abhidhamma is not popular in Thailand. But in the time of Somdet Paputtaja, from the religious exchange between Thailand, he introduced new style of Abhidhamma study. Right, of Abhidhamma. Myanmar government sent some monk, scholar monk, who expert in Abhidhamma. For example, Venerable Satthamma Shodika, Venerable Te Shinta to Thailand. Also, Vipassana meditation master. For example, Venerable Asapa Mahathera, right? Asapa Mahathera. This event reflect or symbolize the revival of Vipassana Tula and Kanta Tula in Thailand and in Myanmar by way of exchanging, right? By some religious exchange, right? And also, I think when we talk about His Holiness Somdet Paputtaja's contribution to Buddhism in Thailand, he exchanged Buddhist scripture between Thailand and Myanmar. When he went to Myanmar, right, the representative of Thai Sangha to Myanmar, he took the Pali Tipika Thai version, Thai edition of Pali Tipika to offer Burmese Sangha, and also he got some Pali Pitaka from Myanmar to Thailand. And I think this event give light to the what we call the Pali Tipitaka of MCU, or we call Mahajula Tipitaka, right? Mahajula Tipitaka. So the beginning of making Mahajula Tipitaka or Pali Tipitaka of Mahajula version, I think initiated by Somdet Prabhupada. And later on, we translate the Pali Tipitaka of MCU version, Pali Tipitaka, into Thai translation version, พระไตรปิฎกฉบับภาษาไทยมหาวิทยาลัยมหาจุฬาลงกรณราชวิทยาลัย right? So this is I think this contribution made by the Venerable Somdet Prabhupada. So when we talk about the contribution of Somdet Prabhupada, we I think many contribution we can say about him. I think he has what we call the vision, that the vision. He have the far eyesightedness, right? Vision. I think at that time, Thai people in general not accept the Buddhist study, the Burmese Buddhist study, because we look down the Burma. We feel hostile, right? We feel some enmity with Myanmar. After the fall of Ayutthaya Kingdom, as said by U Yanika, right? We have no political and religious relationship for a long time since the fall of Ayutthaya Kingdom, I think, until to the Somdet Prabhupada period. We have no close religious relation between two countries. But when Somdet Prabhupada went to Myanmar, I think this symbolized the revival of not only Vipassana Chula, Vipassana meditation, but also the religious relation in general. Not only Vipassana, but also Kanta Chula and the Sangha of two countries. So this is my idea I would like to share with you about the Somdet Prabhupada, the revival of Vipassana Chula in Thailand by Somdet Prabhupada. Yes, I think is the one great monk of MCU. And we know today why we practice MCU on program, on curriculum of MCU, right? BA program, MA program, and PhD program. On the program, require on student to practice meditation. What kind of meditation? MCU style meditation. What kind of MCU style meditation? MCU style meditation is it the meditation initiated by Somdet Prabhupada. That is the rising, falling meditation style introduced from Myanmar. Now we practice, when we talk about MCU, what is the essence of MCU? Right? The essence of MCU, one essence of MCU is meditation practice. Initiated by Somdet Prabhupada. Right. This is so we can say the curriculum of MCU is combined together between Vipassana Thura and Kanta Thura as initiated by สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ so I think สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ spirit right สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ spirit still exists in the essence of MCU. So the question for us is how can we continue the contribution of สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ the contribution of สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ the idea the ideology the idea of สมเด็จพระพุทธาจารย์ to continue as long as possible today and in the future. So for this round, let me share my idea. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Thank you very much, Venerable Brahmasambun Butchikaro. This is very interesting that, as he said, that when we talk about something for Putthajan, we can say, according to Dr. Sambun, he is the symbol of religious reform and symbols of what you call that. When we talk about religious reform, at that time, because of the problems of politics or political problems, that the transitional period, and also the thing we call the problems of political socialization just come to dominate the religious affairs. That's why at that time, His Holiness Somdet Phra Putthajan tried his best to revive the Vipassana meditation, especially based on full foundations of mindfulness. So when he got the Vipassana master from Burma, who come along with Mahachadok Yanasiddhi at that time, they just tried to use this one to spread the Buddhism in that time by throw everything we call contribution to revive the way of practicing Vipassana meditation. So come to Dr. Handy, Venerable Vithet Ratanaphon. So when we come to talk about the revival or the contribution of Vipassana meditation by His Holiness Somdet Phra Putthajan, as Dr. Brahmasambun already said that, you talk about the relationships between the symbol. When we talk about Somdet Phra Putthajan, you say one of that is the symbol of the relations between Thailand and Burma. And so the important thing. So as you are overseas Dhammacitta Bhikkhu, and you are very experienced spreading Buddhism in many countries. So what have you seen when we talk about the revival of Vipassana meditation and contribution of Somdet Phra Putthajan about meditation in Thailand, and so the outcome of spreading Vipassana meditation in Western country, especially in USA. Yeah, please.
Pay respect, the most venerable Phra Tham. Yes.
And please mute your microphone, please.
Sorry. Pay respect to the most venerable Phra Thammapanjabodhi, the president of the University Council, abbot of Wat Mahathat in Bangkok. Most venerable Phra Thammavachara Bandit, rector of MCU, and Phra Thamma Vacharamuni, the Vipassana master and director of MCU Meditation Affair, and administrators, lecturers, staff, and students. Good afternoon, and good morning in the West Coast. Right now, the time is the 2:51 a.m. in America. And my dear friend and lay devotees around the world who join us in this seminar. Today, I'd like to share with you some aspect and some information before I answer the question of Dr. Metapan about how revival Vipassana in the West. His Holiness, Samdet Phra Putthajan Art Asava Mahathera, I can say that the sage of Siam, or the Prat of Siam, Prat of Thailand, Prat in Ratana Kosin era. On the occasion of the 118th birth anniversary of His Holiness Samdet Prabhupada, it is an auspicious time for all Buddhists around the globe, as well as the monks, disciples, and the lay communities who respect His Holiness Samdet Prabhupada. We show gratitude and declare honor that what he have done for our country, our community, in the national and the international level. He was a good example in ethics, living a virtuous lifestyle in the Dhamma and Vinaya, and has a good discipline beautifully. He was the one of the noble monk, I can say that, who practiced well and practiced according to the Dhamma Vinaya to make the pictures of Thai Bhikkhu Sangha very, very special. And everyone can accept his acting and his activity. Very beautiful, as we call Sangha Sopano, make the picture of Thai Bhikkhu Sangha so beautiful. His Highness is a sage. He was appointed as the honorary title as Akara Bandit from the Dhamma and his wisdom. His Dhamma practice and his wisdom, his characteristics. Then he got the title Akara Bandit from the Union of Myanmar, as we know as in the history background. He was a preacher, a teacher, lecturer, who was a truly model for a Dhamma teacher nowadays. So I can say that he's the model. And he practice is very serious. He was the meditation master. As we learn from his biography and his work, his activity in the past, and especially about the group of Tudong monks he lead to travel from place to place, especially from Bangkok to the north of Thailand in the history. And in his teaching, both by the verbal and in the books, it's contained the virtues that the Buddhists were able to bring to use in the daily life. The Dhamma that he described in the books of various textbooks and teaching of the Dhamma, and they are both in Thai and in English translation. So it's a very, very useful, and his teaching can apply in the daily life. And there are lots of good examples of his lifestyle, his characteristics of what we call Jariya Wat at in Pali. The people can bring his teaching to practice in daily life to bring benefit and happiness, peace of mind, both of for individuals practice and so for society and for the nation, and can coexist in the harmony and peace, especially the connected with the neighboring country such as Myanmar and some other country in Europe and America that I will explain later on. It is also the upholding of the Buddhism to maintain its blessing forever in Thailand. On this the special occasion, the MCU organized the merit making event to dedicate merit to His Holiness Somdet Prabhupada on this occasion, and also set up the academic seminar on the topic of the revival of Vipassana affair in Thailand. It's a great opportunity for all of us to hear the scholars and the academics administrators' idea, and they show their vision for how to get back what he have done and make it still alive nowadays. So I would like to express my gratitude into some categories. Firstly, on behalf of the Council of Thai Bhikkhus in the United States of America, as the Secretary General of the organization, and have served the MCU with its higher education institution of Thai Bhikkhu Sangha, have supported the Dhammatutta training program going abroad from 1995 until the present. Has trained overseas Bhikkhu or Buddhist missionary go to serve in various parts of the world, such as in North America, Europe, Australia, and many countries in Asia. The project has continued from the beginning until now, systematically and effective with, I think, from the vision of His Holiness to give advice and recommended when he was the administrator in Mahajula, and lay out the policy to the project management team and administrator of the Mahajula Buddhist University. This also his vision to send the Buddhist missionary monk to the outside or to the OC. And secondly, I myself, as alumni of the Mahajula Buddhist University in Wat Mahathat, with His Holiness be the abbot of this monastery that we can call monastic university, has led his Sangha University to progress in terms of building, construction in Wat Mahathat, and also the academically relentlessly until it becomes apparent to the world today. And from Wat Mahathat and move to Wang Noi now, they also start from the Wat Mahathat by his guidance. His Holiness Somdet is an idol for young monk and novices in the, I can call the globalization era. Even in his time, there's no internet yet, but because of he opened the eyes of the new generation to see the overseas or the neighboring country, such as in Myanmar or in Europe and America, that he tried to open the eyes of the new generation, especially for the monks and novices. This made the Sangha University of Thailand, the Mahajula, known to the world at all levels. For example, he was elected to join the conference in the international meeting in the organization that we call MRA, the MRA organization in Mackinac Island in Michigan. This is the first time I think he had been invited from MRA. MRA organization means that if we translate in Thai, it's called Brahmavihan Samakom or Samakom Brahmavihan. This means that this organization try to use the Dhamma to propagate the Dhamma and use the Dhamma as the key to run the organization. Yeah, Brahmavihara Samakom or MRA. So he joined the conference in Mackinac, Michigan at those time, before Thai temple has been established in America. I think around 1950s, he went there. And also the Thai temple established after he went to America and come back, and also the second time of the Thai Bhikkhu Sangha who bring Buddhism to the West, especially in America, was the Pra Pimoratham Chop Anuchari Mahathera, that one who went to America and met the Thai community there and established Thai temple as the first Thai temple in Los Angeles in around 1972, 1925. And 1975 at Wat Thai DC, that's the second Thai temple in America. That's the one thing that I like to relate to his vision. He's affected to the affair from Thai and some Western people, and also he attained the Chattatipitaka Council in Myanmar. He lead the declaration to attend the 6th Tipitaka seminar in Myanmar. So, but before that, as Venerable Brahmasambun just mentioned, that he sent the student to study in Myanmar in Abhidhamma and Vipassana Tura because of text and practice, the theory and practice, so Vipassana Tura and Kanta Tura. So he sent a student to study there and then come back to Thailand and spread in Wat Mahathat until now. And very special for our Buddhist missionary now also in America or in Europe or under the project of Mahajula or MCU to spread the meditation technique to the West. And thirdly, I would like to express my gratitude as the disciple of His Holiness disciple. I can say the grandchildren disciple, with most venerable พระราชมงคลรังสี or Rong Tai Chi, the abbot of Wat Thai, Washington D.C., who used to be an alumnus of Wat Mahathat, and also he was the disciple of His Holiness too. He was a stay at Wat Mahathat after World War II and study there and practiced there for many years, especially about the meditation. He tried to copy His Holiness characteristic and explain about his lifestyle, his manner, his character to us, to the monk at Wat Thai DC, and I'm very impressed to hear about his life and story, especially when he was in prison. During his imprison, he has the pray or show his monkhood. Even he, put the robe off, put the chiwan off his body, but he still be practice as a monk is very impressed to the new generation like us. So His Holiness Somdet is truly a sage of Siam in the era of the globalization, because it means the one who is knowledgeable, wise, and was a kind heart, beautiful mind, and have correct life, have ethical practices, follow the Dhamma and Vinaya, follow the rule and regulation, discipline beautifully, the characteristics of his sage that mentioned in the Buddhist teaching. So I would like just to share some aspect or some information that related to Wat Thai in America, related to Wat Mahathat. One is the Wat Puttha Vararam in Denver. That also the temple established by Ajahn Sobin Sopako Poti. Ajahn Sobin also, when he was a novice, he practiced under His Holiness Somdet Prabuddhachan at Wat Mahathat. And then he, the first Thai Buddhist missionary monk to have been sent to America to establish Thai temple at Wat Thai Los Angeles. But after that he moved to Denver, Colorado, and then established Wat Puttha Vararam in Denver. So at those time, from 1972 to 1975, there are around 5 temples. Wat Thai Los Angeles, number 1. Wat Thai Washington D.C., number 2. Wat Wachira Thammapacheep in New York, Wat Thammaram, Chicago, and Wat Puttha Vararam in Denver. So 5 temples have get together and established as the Samacha Song Thai, or that we call the Council of Thai Bhikkhus in USA, registered under non-profit religious organization in Colorado, in Denver, Colorado state, and also have tax exemption under the law 501c3 as a non-profit organization. Nowadays, Samacha Song Thai start from 5 temples. Now we have 120 temples. Only Mahanikai 6, 120 throughout the United States of America, cover about 38 states in 50 states in the U.S. So the revival of Buddhism, or the revival of meditation in the West, that contributed by the most venerable Somdet Prabuddhachan, that we can call that he have the vision to send the monk to study the theory and practice, and then return back to Thailand and spread all over the country. Right now, the Vipassana meditation is well known in Thailand and also in the West. And I just would like to share with you a couple minutes about how to revive Vipassana meditation back to Thai society or to the world, contribute to the world. So the first thing that we lack is the meditation master. We have to train the meditation master to guide, to teach the correct way. Because I have been asked from the Westerner many times about why the techniques of meditation in Thailand, so many techniques, so they got confused. which one is right one, which one is I should practice. So it's very difficult to answer the correct way. But I just want to let them know about what the Buddha taught. That's the correct way. Another one is like only the master invent. The master try to make up and make it the easy way to practice, but sometimes it's like is not correct way. So the sutra that Buddha taught is Anapanasati Sutta or Mahasatipatthana Sutta, the four foundation of mindfulness. So that one you should know, you should learn, you should practice according to Buddha teaching. Then that would be the correct way. And another one is the knowledgeable master that we just mentioned, the vision of the most of the His Holiness Somdet Pระพุทธาจารย์ to encourage his disciple to learn Kanta Thura and Vipassana Thura. So the meditation master have to know both Kanta Thura, the text, the scripture in the sutra, and Abhidhamma have to keen, have to expert, and also Vipassana Thura, Samatha and Vipassana have to know very well. So if you have, I got the motto that Luang Tachi, who has get transfer or get the knowledge from His Holiness, that the monk, the Dhammadutta monk, has to have Phum Tham, Phum Panya. He said like this: Phum Tham, Phum Panya. What is a Phum Tham? What is a Phum Panya? Phum Panya is a Kanta Thura, to learn the text. And what is a Phum Tham? It's a Vipassana Thura. For instance, like the Westerner who practice in Thailand as the disciple of Luang Po Cha, or disciple of Luang Poพุทธทาส, or the disciple of Luang Ta Mahabua, or whatever, Luang Po Thong at Wat Rampeng, Wat Phat Thát Si Chom Thong, whatever. They have practiced from the master who has two qualifications, the Kanta Thura and Vipassana Thura, Phum Tham and Phum Panya. Of course, like Luang Po Cha is not much more about the Kanta Thura. He not get the Pali number 9 grade or whatever, but Phum Tham that he got again from the practice, that I can say that the Bhavana Maya Panya. So the Kanta Thura just a Sutta Maya Panya and Chinta Maya Panya, but Vipassana is the Bhavana Maya Panya. That's the real Panya that the Buddha also encouraged his disciple to gain the Bhavana Maya Panya and can transform the people from the normal people to the noble people. That's a Pavanamaya Panya. And the last one I would like to share with you how to revival Vipassana. So the method, the technique, and the technology, this one also very important. The method, how to reach the people, especially in nowadays the society, they are very stressed and depressed, and how to help them. The method also very important, and technique, how to let the people learn from easy way to high level. And the last one is the technology. I mean, this is the IT era, IT information era, that we have to use internet, we have to use the social media to reach the people, to teach the people, to use the technique the old technique but use with the new technology, and then can spread the Buddha word or the technique of vipassana meditation to the new generation, especially for the young people. They are interesting in Buddhism, but because of sometimes they have the barrier, they cannot reach the real technique or the real thing that the technology can serve. Buddhism can serve the vipassana to to continue and to make vipassana still alive. That's the people in the West, they are want to learn the good technique and the correct way, especially from Thai Theravada Buddhism. They need it, so that I think we can share with them. We can learn and then practice together and bring peace to the world. So thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of this special event. And also in the first round, I'd just like to share with you this aspect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Venerable Dr. Hamdi. So very interesting that when you talk about the revival of Vipassana meditation by His Holiness, we can say that the first term that you just focus on the revival of Vipassana meditation at the time of His Holiness Somdet Puttajan. After that, he just focus on the spreading of Vipassana meditation in the West and how to at the present. So when we talk about how to, that's very important, at present in Thailand, Thai people, they focus too much on alms giving more than mental development. But in the West, straight in the West, Western people, Westerners, nowadays, they pay attention too much to meditation. They don't know this meditation belongs to which religion. But compared to Theravada and Vajrayana and Mahayana in the West, I think Vajrayana meditation, I think is more popular than Theravada method and technique. According to Dr. Handy, that if we would like to be successful in teaching Vipassana meditation, we have to try to apply like the techniques, method, even we choose bring IT to help. So come to Pramaha Pasaran, and he is, we can say, the X or Z generation. This is the gap between X generation and baby boom generation. We can say that Somdet Puttajan are maybe the baby boom generation. And now we think about A generation. In Thailand, now so many youngsters, now they try to leave Buddhism, or even they try to be free from embracing any religions. So, Dr. Pascon, just the questions to think as alumnus of Padmahatha, the first thing. And the second one, now you are the most meditation experts of teaching in Europe. According to your idea, I just would like to talk about the revival of meditation by Somdet Puttajan, and also I just would like you to talk about how much progress of teaching meditation in Europe, and also what you see in the future, how to develop, how to teach meditation to a generation or young generation. This I just would like to chat about this, please.
Namatu Ratanatayasa, may pay my homage to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. Most Prat Thambanyabadi, the president of the Council of Mahachaluman Rajavitiyala University. Most Venerable Prat Thamvacharabandit, director of MCU, and Most Venerable Prat Thamvacharamuni, and all respected venerables and their devotees. It is my great pleasure and honor to be invited as the panelist to share experience and views on the revival of Vipassana Fair initiated by His Holiness Samdet Praputtajan Asapa Mahatara. To be honest, I have never met him in person, although I'm from Wat Mahathat, because I became a novice monk in 1988. The year that he passed away. I have heard from my Luang Pa, my preceptor, that we have the sad news that Prapimulatham or Sumit Praputtajan just passed away, and that's what the first time I heard about his name. I came to Wat Mahathat in 1995 to receive high ordination as a monk under the guidance of Prasumita Tibadi and late abbot of Wat Mahathat, and who was also the late president of the Council of Mahachaluman Rajavitiyala University. Well, I just would like to talk about at least two points. I'm from Wat Mahathat. I didn't know about Luang Pa Samdet Praputtajan until I came to Wat Mahathat. I knew very little about him, and especially when I came to do my MPhil and my PhD here in the UK, and I have a chance to explore his contribution. And the revival of Vipassana affair in Thailand by Samdet Praputtajan coincide with my thesis for MA that I studied at University of Bristol. So I just would like to talk about this point first, and I would like to share the screen with everyone, so that you can see what I have wrote. Here, this is for my thesis, my MPhil thesis. I would like to focus on this point. In order to promote meditation training among monks and lay people alongside textual study, Pimulatham, this is the English style. We don't use the word like most venerable or venerable. When I put something like a venerable, most venerable, my venerable was just deleted. So this is the English style. Pimulatham established the Vipassana Meditation Center in 1951 at Wat Mahathat. And this movement was believed to be inspired by seeing a religious revival in Myanmar, Burma, and the support of meditation for monks and lay people by the late Prime Minister U Nu. Well, here in this part, we can say that having seen the religious affair in Myanmar, then Samdet Praputtajan, at the time, most Venerable Pratipamulatham wanted to revise the Buddhist affair or education affair in Thailand. So have that thought in his mind, then he sent Pramahachorok Siddhi, and who was in fact the first abbot of Wat Buddhapatipa, to learn meditation under the guidance of most Mahasi Sayadaw. At that time, he was still a young monk with a 9-level Pali grade. He stayed in Myanmar for a year, and having completed the meditation course, and then Pramacharo Siddhi returned to Thailand together with 2 Burmese meditation masters. And he brought 2 meditation masters with him, and with the hope that the master could help him in teaching meditation, although the Burmese master could not speak Thai language at all. But I thought at that time there were some lay people who were from Myanmar who were able to speak Thai very well, and they could come to help with the interpretation. And this is what happened when the Burmese master were invited to conduct meditation in Bangkok. I also would like to focus on what's happened after and Prathamulatham invited the meditation master from Myanmar to conduct meditation course in Thailand. Not only the meditation thing, but he also want to revise Abhidhamma study. Here on the screen, you can see this is the figure of Prat Satthammachodika Thamajariya. And he was in fact the scholar, Abhidhamma scholar, and he himself was not a meditation master. And Long Po Prat Pimulatham or Samrat Praputhajjan would like to revise not only education, but also Vipassana meditation or meditation. We call it Kantatura and Vipassanatura. Because he believed that teacher study alone is not enough. And we need to apply meditation together with meditation practice. Earlier, and if you look at this, his contribution by inviting meditation master from Myanmar to conduct meditation in Thailand, not only bring the good side or the great contribution, but also brought him problems. If you have a chance to read his book, Pajon Man, I think many of our friends here have a chance to read the book Pajon Man. And in the book entitled Pajon Man, and he recalled that the arrest, and if you still remember, and he was arrested in 1966. And after he introduced meditation and after he tried to revise Vipassana meditation and education in Thailand. So in Pajon Man, or in English, in Quarter with Devil, Prathamulatham recalled that the arrest was provoked by his three creative religious work. What are they? First, sending monk graduate from Vajrayana University to study abroad, like to study in India or to study in Myanmar. And second, he invited the Abhidhamma scholar monks from Burma to teach Abhidhamma Pitaka in Thailand. Last but not least, he tried to reform the task of meditation practice, or Vipassana meditation. And after he established Vipassana meditation center at Wat Mahathat, the numbers of people who grow the interest in meditation were increasing dramatically. As I was told, although I did not witness what happened during that time, but I was told by many senior monks from Wat Mahathat, they said that everyone came to Wat Mahathat to learn meditation, not only the lay people, even monks. The establishment of the Buddha Patipada temple was the outcome of what he has done. So now I just would like to share with you and the outcome of His Holiness Praputhajjan contribution to Vipassana meditation. Here I have the PowerPoint. Sorry, I didn't have time to prepare my slide in English, but at least it will give you some idea how the Buddha Patipada temple came to be as the outcome of his work. And here in this picture, this is Venerable Ananda Bodhi. And who was Ananda Bodhi? Ananda Bodhi was a candidate by birth, but he received an ordination, I believe, in Myanmar. And then he went to learn meditation under the guidance and instruction of Long Po Chalo Yanasiddhi or Parasiddhi Muni at Wat Mahathat. So he was one of the Western students. Then he had a chance to travel to England, to the UK, by the invitation of the English Sangha Trust. So on the right-hand side here, you see this is Hampstead Buddhist Vihara. And Hampstead Buddhist Vihara was in fact initiated by Kapilavatthu. Kapilavatthu was ordained as a monk at Wat Phra Nam, and then he tried to establish the English Sangha because he wanted to plant the seed of Buddhism here in the UK, but he failed because he didn't have the cooperation from the people here, and Buddhism was still new to the English people. Then I would like to show them the picture of Luang Por Chadok University on the day that he was about to fly to England. And here in Thai, on the 24th of May, 1964, in 1964, he was at Don Mung VIP room. And on the following morning, and he arrived at London Heathrow Airport. But in this picture, and there was the description was not right, because in this picture has some information from Luang Por Kematamo that this is not Pramaha Vijit, but it was Pramaha Bunchoi. Pramaha Bunchoi. So Pramaha Vijit was like the script of Luang Por Chadok University, because he was a young monk and he was able to speak English. So he traveled together with Luang Por Chadok as his interpreter and also the secretary. And then this is the first Buddha Patipat temple, and which was on 99 Christchurch Road. And 99 Christchurch Road. And the name was given by His Less Majesty King Bhumibol Buddha Patipa, which simply means the Lord of Wisdom. On the 1st of August, 1966, His Less Majesty King Bhumibol, together with Queen Sirikit, came to preside over the opening ceremony on the 1st of August 1966. And until 1975, and we moved to the present location in Wimbledon. So here on the 17th of November 1975, the monks have moved in Barrowgill House, which is the present location of Wat Buddha Patipat Temple. This is the aerial photo from drone. I took this photo by myself, and this is the most monastery or the house where all the monks are living in. And not far from here, there is the Wimbledon tennis court, which is about 5 minutes by walk. We have the bell tower. This is the cottage where the cook and his family live. And this is the main temple. So from the air, you can see that the main temple in the Thai style is very, very beautiful. And the whole area is about 5 acres. I just would like to go quickly. This is the main temple during autumn. And here we call it autumn. And you can see from my background that I use this picture as my background. Now the weather is a bit cold, nearly 3 Celsius. This is the main temple during summertime. And every summer, we have the meditation retreat for ladies. We sometimes have over 100 Thai ladies who attended the residential retreat. Right, here just brief information that I just would like to share. And now I would like to focus on what we have done so far in order to promote meditation in a Western country. Well, I could say that the demand for meditation instruction in the Western country is pretty high. And why I say that? Well, every day, the people would like to come and meditate. And every day we have received a phone call, and when you will be reopening your temple again, and why you would like to the temple to be reopened. They said, oh, I miss meditation. I miss meditation. But the thing is, we have the chapters of teachers who speak very good English. At the moment, I'm the main teacher at Wat Buddha Patipa. And during the COVID lockdown, I used Zoom, but then I didn't have much time because I have lots of things to do as well. And at the moment, we allow them people to meditate inside the main temple, but there is no guided meditation, no class, no talk. But I could say that an if MCU can help to train the meditation master, like Ajahn Jakundanat had just said, that we need the meditation master who know well meditation technique, who speak good English, who are able to convey the message of the Buddha or the teaching of the Buddha that would be great. And this could be regarded as the contribution that we can do to honor and His Holiness Somdet Prabhupada Art Asapa Mahathera. And because has done just a great job, I thought he came to the UK and
Recording stopped.
I thought he came to the UK, he came to England, and he conduct ordination ceremony, and later on, and many local people were interested in meditation. And meditation is something that the Western people would like to explore, and they believe that meditation could help them to cope with day-to-day problem, because there are lots of issues, there are lots of stress in the Western society, and they are quite lonely. I would say that they are very lonely because it's not like here in Thailand that you can go and talk to anyone. Here in the UK, although you're from the same family, but you rarely meet each other. So when they come to the temple, they feel relaxed, they feel like they're sorry. There's some noise in background.
Chris.
It's okay now, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Well, in my conclusion, and I would say that we still need help from the Thai Sangha or even from Mahajalumaraj Vidyaya University, and we have the idea to train the meditation master. And those who have completed the MA in Vipassana meditation from with Bali Putta Court, and if they need to improve their English, we can help them. And Ajahn Kuntanat can help them. And we can find a place where they can improve their English. But they need to have the basic English first. And because if they have the zero background, and that would be very difficult for us to train them. So at least they must be able to communicate. And the most important thing is they need to have the inspiration and also the intention to spread meditation practice, Vipassana meditation. I would say that here in the UK, Tibetan Buddhism is very popular. Whenever I walk to the city center, and then the people will say, "Oh, are you Lama? Are you Lama?" Or another, they will say that, "Are you from China? Can you perform Kung Fu? I have heard that you can kill someone with one kick. Is that true or not?" Well, because of this, we need to lift up the profile of Theravada Buddhism by bringing meditation practice. For the Thai community, as Ajahn Metapan said, that the Thai Buddhists still like to do dana. They focus on dana. Whenever we try to encourage them to meditate, they said, "Oh, I don't have time. I don't have time for meditation," but they have time for dana. During the Gatina, and as you can see from Facebook, that the Thai Buddhists like to attend the Gatina, but there are not many Thai Buddhists who would like to attend meditation retreat. This is because of the lack of information, the lack of understanding. Perhaps if we can encourage the Thai Buddhists to focus more on meditation, and this would be helpful. And then the two can become the great disciple who could help Buddhism in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Venerable Pascon, for your sharing. It's very important and very interesting. In all points we have talked about the revival of Vipassana meditation by Somdet Prabhupada, and also presented the location of Wat Puttapatipa in London. Now we still have some, I think, around 20 minutes. If any panelists would like to add something, Venerable Brahmahasamu would like to add some point. Yeah, please.
Let me ask one point. I think what the Samdet Paputtajan had done contribute to the Thai Buddhism. That I think he tried to go back to the basic of the Buddha teaching, right? As we know, in the three principles, the three satthamma taught by the Buddha emphasized the three true Dhamma, right? True Dhamma. The first is Pariyatti Dhamma, but Pariyatti Satthamma. That is studying the text, the scripture, and Pativesa, Patipatti Satthamma, and practice meditation, practice, and Pativeta, the Dhamma Satthamma, is the realization of the Dhamma. I think what the Samdet Paputtajan had done is to go back to what we call the basic, go back to the Buddha teaching. I agree with the Venerable Ajahn Pramahapasakon, to propagate Buddhism. We require the meditation master who know the foreign language like English, and who expert, who specialize in the Buddha teaching. So this is we can summarize into the two burden, two kind of burden, as said by the comment in the commentary, right? Dhammapada commentary, Vipassana Thula and Kanta Thula. It is the essence of Buddhism, I think. So to continue the heritage led by Venerable His Holiness Samdet Paputtajan, I think we should emphasize the two kind of burden that he had done. That is to study Buddhist scripture and also to practice meditation. If we can do these two burdens, I think Buddhism can cope with the modern need. I remember what said by Albert Einstein. He said, if there is any religion that could cope with modern scientific need, it would be Buddhism. So let me refer to the poetry by King Lama VI. He composed the Thai poetry, influenced by the poetry by Henry Wordsworth Longfellow. ประวัติวีรบุรุษไซเตือนใจเรานาว่าอาจจะยังชนเลิศได้และยามจะบรรลัยทิ้งซึ่งรอยบาดเหยียบแน่นไว้แทบพื้นทรายสมัย This was influenced by the poetry of Henry Wordsworth Longfellow. Life of great man on remind us we can make our life sublime, and departing leave behind us footprint on the sand of time. So thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you very much. Venerable Sir, just instead of adding some points, I have some questions for both Dr. Hanley and Pramaha Paskon. Venerable Ashira asked the question like this: according to Burmese Buddhist meditation, the Vipassana meditation taught by Somdet Praputtajan is very important technique. Net important technique. How should we maintain it? This is the first question. And the second question, concentration is important. This Venerable Vayama, how to explain it to a non-religious person. Dr. Handy first, followed by Venerable Pascal.
Okay. For the technique that we can apply and use in daily life, as the most His Holiness taught us through the meditation from we can say Myanmar technique or Mahasisio technique. But okay, in conclusion is the Anapanasati that we use the breathing exercise. Even we use yup no pong no in the technical term, but actually we have to breathe through your nostril. So when we introduce to the Westerner, we use the breathing exercise and let them do by themselves. That's a very, very easy way. We try to put into the correct way as mentioned in Mahasatipatthana Sutta. Buddha said, go to the fruit of the tree or empty house and watch your breath. Breathing in long, you know that you're breathing long. Breathing short, you know that you're breathing short. So, and then they follow that. So, and for the non-believer or non-atheist, the people who not believe in religion, we try to explain that the technique of meditation is the technique for the health, improve your health, because the people in the West, they have stress, depressed, and one program I teach people here that we call mental detoxification and relaxation, สมาธิเพื่อการผ่อนคลาย that they can apply in daily life, not concerned with belief. We not force them to pay respect to the Buddha first or they're asking for the 5 precepts first. No, you just sit and watch your breath and also watch your mind, what's going on, what's in your thought, and then how to release it. Release, recite, and concentration. A, B, C. A is the air, breathing in. B is the breath. And C, circulation, breathing in and out. So it's very, very good for them that they can apply and relax and see how meditation help improve their health. So this is everyone can use it. Everyone can apply it in daily life. So one thing that we mentioned that nowadays the youngster, the teenager, they are not interested in Buddhism. They are not interested even in meditation because they don't know how to apply meditation in daily life. Because, okay, we teach only pitigam, only the ritual, not the practical way. So if they understand that this is a practical way to release tension, to release depressed people, every nationality, Thai, Laos, Cambodia, Americans, Mexican, whatever, they have the same commons that have greed, hatred, and delusion. So how to reduce that kind of thing that's the meditation can apply to daily life of everyone. So I think even non-believer, they can practice. As I can mention one, you may know that Goenka Center. He also teach meditation, but teach the technique how to release suffering. This technique discovered by the Buddha, but is not belong to only the Buddhism. It belong to any people in the world that you have three things in your mind: greed, hatred, and delusion. So, and then we try to release it. When you release it, and then you meet the happiness, you have the peace of mind, you have the serenity inside. So that's the purpose of Buddhism and the purpose of the Buddha. Whatever you call yourself Muslim, you call yourself Brahmanism, or anyone. But you have three things, and how to release it, how to reduce it, and how to get the real happiness in your life. That's it. This is Buddhism. Thank you very much.
Venerable Pastor Gon, I think one question is very important for you. Venerable Vajjama just asked that how to explain or how to teach meditation or Buddhism to a non-religious person.
Right, thank you for the question. Well, from my direct experience, it's not easy. For example, if they don't believe in any particular religion, and I have the experience when I was teaching meditation at Wat Mahathat Section 5, and they simply want to meditate, but they don't want to join chanting, they don't want to bow to show respect to the Buddha statue. I normally explain the significance of meditation. For example, when I have the session with the school children, many parents didn't want their children to get involved in meditation because they believe it is against their religious belief. I normally begin by saying that meditation is not a kind of religious practice. It's just a way to exercise the mind. And as long as you can sit down with the eye closed, as long as you can breathe in and breathe out, you can apply mindfulness. I prefer to use the word mindfulness meditation rather than Buddhist meditation, because if you give the brand as a Buddhist meditation, and many people would hesitate to join in. I thought many teachers are successful because they don't use the word Buddhist at all, Buddhist meditation. And when we give the name of religion in meditation teaching, and many people won't turn away because they said, I'm not religious. I simply want to learn meditation. So one thing that I always tell the school children or even non-religious people, that meditation will be good for you. You don't need to believe me. Just try by yourself. Try to meditate at least 5 minutes a day, and then within 1 month, you can come back to me. You can see that the way you look at things, the way you think about other people will change. And before I finish, I would like to share on the screen that here in the UK, right, so as you see on the screen here, you can see that in the UK, this is from the census, Christian, 59%, no religion, 25%. 25%. And then Muslim, 4.8%, Hindu, 5.5%, Sikhism, 0.8%, Jewish, 0.5%. But Buddhists, you see here, Buddhists, this is about over 10 years ago, only 0.4%. If you look at the graph here, you can see that the Christian, this includes Catholic and the Church of England, and make it to 59%. But here, look at this, 25% of the people who live in the UK don't believe in any particular religion. So whenever they come to the temple, they simply want to meditate. They don't like to engage in rite and ritual, that whenever I ask them to bow to respect, they hesitate to do that. So I just said, if you just would like to come for meditation, just come 15 minutes later, because we normally start at 7. We start with chanting, and they can just come for the talk. I thought that answered the question. Thank you for your question again.
Okay, thank you very much, Venerable Pamahapaskon. Venerable Pramahasambun, one question for you from Venerable Iroka. He just asked that how to share Buddhism to children, or how to teach meditation to children.
Thank you so much, Ajahn, for the question. I think we should know the children psychology, right? Before teaching meditation for the children, we should know the nature of children. The nature of children. We should adapt the meditation practice to appropriate, to be easy way, or the easy way. For example, to how to we can the children cannot practice like standing meditation, like a sitting meditation for a long time. But my suggestion is how can we apply meditation practice in daily life? For example, how to take food mindfully, right? How to read a book mindfully, right? How to take a bath mindfully, something like that. This is the meditation practice in daily life. I think in the full foundation of mindfulness, right? The Sampachanya Papa, Sampachanya Japa, the Buddha teach us about how to be mindful in daily life activity. For example, when walking forward, like a stretching our hands, something like that. So the on movement of your life should be the instrument of meditation practice. I remember the one Zen meditation master. He said, one professor asked him, what is the teaching of Zen Buddhism? Right? What is the teaching of Zen Buddhism? Please tell me the teaching of Zen Buddhism. He said, Zen Buddhism is nothing. When you are hungry, you eat. When you're sleepy, you sleep. This is the teaching of Zen Buddhism. So the meaning is how can we eat mindfully? How can we sleep mindfully? So if we think that meditation practice is for the one who have free time in the meditation room, I think that is what we call intensive meditation practice, of official meditation practice, not in daily life. But you write outside meditation room. I think about 99% of your life outside the meditation room. Your life in meditation room, I think about 1%, 1%. But if we think that when we practice meditation, we must go to the meditation center in meditation room. That is, I think meditation is not useful. So if we can apply meditation practice on every activity of life, in daily life, that is the real meditation practice. So in teaching meditation, vipassana meditation for children, I think we should apply meditation technique appropriate to the for the children. As I said, it should be the meditation in on activity like eating, like walking, like sitting, like writing, and like watching TV, something like that. This is my answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Venerable Pramahasambun. I think now we come to the end of this seminar. I just would like to put to all of you the last question from the participant, Venerable Najana. I think maybe he is Burmese students. He just asked all of you that in your idea how to convince the present students of MCU to follow the footsteps of His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan. I think who would like to answer first? Venerable Henry, please.
Okay, yeah, as we do now, we try to bring up the history and his vision and his example. So by learning from his biography and his work, then can some monk have inspiration to follow his footsteps, because this is the right way, and the most important thing is the vision. His vision lead to the mission. Yeah, his vision, every aspect that we cover today, so that like a most venerable rector has speech already, cover every aspect: the education, the administration, and meditation, and also Kantatura and Vipassana, of course, as the Tura or the duty or burden, as the Buddha mentioned in the text, that is a Tura of Buddhist disciple have to carry on, that Vipassana Tura and Kantatura. So this is our duty directly. So as you are a student in MCU student or any student, any young monk in Thailand, I heard that there are lacks of the knowledge of meditation. So if you open, you can see the Western people, they are asking for the correct meditation, and they point to Thailand. Thailand is the land of Buddhism, especially we can say that 95% are Theravada Buddhists in Thailand. But how many percent Thai Buddhist monk or Thai Buddhist novice knowing about meditation and knowing the correct meditation? So please, everyone, learn it, practice it, and very beneficial, very useful in daily life, the meditation. So if we want to revival what the most venerable His Holiness have done in the past, and then we bring into our daily life, daily practice, then the meditation will go still alive until the end of the Buddha Sasana, as I can say that. So thank you very much for the question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Andy. Venerable Pascal, the same question.
Well, I thought in order to encourage the student of MCU to follow the footsteps of Long Pa Samit Puttajan at Azapama Thera, I think by learning about his biography or by looking at what he has done in the past, that would inspire everyone. And I would take myself as an example, because I have never met him in person. But after learning about his life, when I read Pajonman, the book Pajonman, when I learn more about him, and then I have the inspiration that what he has done was great. And then in order to continue his contribution, in order to keep his name well known among the community, even in the global community. So what we can do from is just to do something in order to spread the teaching of the Buddha, in order to spread the meditation technique. But one thing that we have to be very careful, we don't need to use the word Buddhist meditation, because it's happened to me whenever I say we are going to do a short Buddhist meditation, and then many students just walk up. You know why? Because they said, oh, this is a kind of Buddhist thing. And I have no religion. I don't want to get involved in the Buddhist thing, even the Buddhist prayer, because it is against their religion. And then I change my technique by using the word meditation or mindfulness meditation. It's not only for Buddhists, it's for all. You can meditate. If you can breathe in, breathe out, you can focus on the breathing in and breathing out. If everyone can do this, although you're Muslim, although you're Catholic, you're Christian, you're Jews or whatever, you can meditate. And then as I say, everyone is happy to meditate because it is not a kind of religious practice. I have to ensure them that meditation is for all, not only for Buddhists. It's not a kind of prayer, because we don't pray for God. We don't pray for God when we meditate. And for the small children, I would say we just do a very short meditation, 2-3 minutes. Breathe in, breathe out, count 1, breathe in, breathe out, count 2. And this is a technique that I always use with the young children. And then they really like it because they feel relaxed and very peaceful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Venerable same question. Venerable Pamahasubhu, please.
Please repeat the question again, Ajahn.
To convince the present students of MCU to follow the footsteps of His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan.
I think we should know what had done by Venerable Somdet Paputtajan. It's not new. It's not new. He just followed what taught by the Buddha. That is the Vipassana Thula and Khathula. These two kind of Thula or burden integrated in the MCU curriculum already, right? You to follow the footsteps of Venerable Somdet Paputtajan, you just study hard, study Buddhism, study and practice meditation. This is the way has done by Somdet Paputtajan. I think it's the Buddha way, not the new way created by Somdet Paputtajan. When you practice meditation, when you study Buddhism hard, you already follow the footsteps of Somdet Paputtajan. Thank you so much.
That's all about academic seminar on the revival of Vipassana meditation in Thailand by His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan at Aspamatira by 3 panelists. According to the panelists, we can say that His Holiness Somdet Paputtajan contributed to the revival of Vipassana meditation after 1955 by sending Buddhist monks to study both scriptures and also meditation in the Union of Burma. After that, he himself went to see many study of so many schools of Vipassana meditation in Sri Lanka, in Burma, and also he sent invitation letter to ask for sending Vipassana masters from Burma to Thailand. So from there, we can say that the contribution of Somdet Paputtajan art is the real revival of Vipassana meditation. So This is on things exchanged by panelists. So the speech of three panelists was very insightful, productive, and high performance. And I believe exactly this what all participants needed to hear from three panelists. On behalf of the organizing committee, I just would like to thank Venerable Associate Professor Dr. Pramahas Sombun Wutikaro, Dean of Graduate School of Hajalalapa Vidyalaya University. Thank you very much. I would like to thank Venerable Dr. Handy from USA, and I would like to thank Venerable Pamaha Pascan Piyo Paso from Puttapatipa, London, England. And thank you very much for your kindness to come to exchange on this academic seminar. Thank you very much. So at the end, I just would like to thank all participants who have come to attend this program from, I think, around 2 o'clock till now. Now this room, we are going to stop. I just would like to invite all of you to come to join the room in Thai language, because we will have the close ceremony performed by the most venerable Associate Professor Dr. Pathet Pavarapeti, Vice Rector for Administration. Thank you very much. Just ready to close this room, and we will come to join the room 1, 2, 3, 4 for joining the closing ceremony. Thank you very much.